man. All that stuff that you in is bullshit. Egypt is dead and gone, and it's not coming back. You ain't going to build it up, all right? You ain't building it up, man. It's dead and it's gone, man. Anyway, I want to go. Hey, go ahead and read that. That's a go. Yeah. The white man can't even go to the bottom of the sea.
This is 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 16. And this is the reason. See, you don't think this stuff was going on back then? You don't think they were trying to bring up that same crap back then? Imhotep and then the serious...
Imhotep, according to the scholars, that's supposed to be Joseph. And what made Egypt great? Imhotep, Joseph. Because he was the one that interpreted that dream that there was going to be 7 years of plenty. And that's in the Egyptian history. And then they didn't know that there was going to be 7 years of famine. So he told the Pharaoh that, man. And Imhotep was never a pharaoh. He was always like the second in command under the pharaoh, I believe, of Upper Egypt. I'm not an Egyptologist, okay? So don't quote me on it. But anyway, it says when you do the comparison, Imhotep lived to be 110. Joseph lived to be 110. All right? Imhotep had a dream or got a dream or interpreted a dream about 7 years of plenty and 7 years of famine. And Joseph did too. Okay? So the sun didn't make Egypt great. The Egyptians didn't make themselves great. It was Joseph, a Hebrew, that made Egypt great. And there was a Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, that raised up Egypt, and then the Most High brought it down, just like he's going to bring down America.
It says, for we have, 2 Peter 1 and 16, for we have not followed cunningly devised fables when we made known unto you the power and coming of our Lord Yahweh Shai, but were eyewitnesses of his majesty. You know, because you had the same thing going on back then, but back then it was mainly the fables of that Greek mythology that they were trying to incorporate with the Bible. Same thing they're doing today with the Egyptology, you know, all them other different Sumerians and, you know.
And you know why you get a lot of people to follow y'all? Because I'm going to tell you like it is. Niggas don't research, man. They wait for somebody with a nice suit on that tell them a whole lot of shit and sell them books. And then you read the books and you don't even check the resources of where this guy got the information from, man.
So what we're gonna do is talk about. Wait a minute.
You got guys, you know, that speak eloquently, you know, that use all these big $5,000 words that the majority of the audience don't even know what you're saying, but it just sounds good.
Yeah, the debate that you have, the majority of the people up in there, man, are they on the level to debate with y'all? They're there to see a good show, man. That ain't nothing but entertainment, man. That's why we wouldn't get involved in that bullshit, man. Now, if you want to come down to the camp, you're going to say, oh, we're cowards. Nigga, we out there on the streets, man. You can come down anytime we out there on the streets.
When you out there was out there doing them debates or whatever, we was out there in the streets teaching. And men before us. This is in 2 Peter 1 and 16. This is the word cunningly devised. Right? And this is what the Greek word for cunningly devised is. It's sophizo, right? The word sophizo means to make wise, teach, to become wise, to have understanding, to invent, play the sophist, to devise cleverly or cunningly. Now, I had looked this word up earlier, the word sophist, all right? Now, I don't want to look that up real quick because that was one of the definitions that they gave for the word sophizo, which is close to it, you know, and the word sophisto goes back to sophos, which means wisdom. But this particular wisdom or sophist that is talking about a group of Greek philosophers back in the 5th century BC, you know, that were good at speeches, giving different speeches, but when you go back into the foundation of what they were saying, it was empty in so many words. This is sophist. In the Free Dictionary, it says one skilled in elaborate and devious argumentation, because that's all it is devious argumentation. A scholar or thinker. sophists, any of a group of professional 5th century BC Greek philosophers and teachers who speculated on theology. And that's what you guys are doing. You're speculating on theology. You're basing what you're, and all the records and information that you got from the white man. All them dates that you see.
Everything that you got, the Metu Neter, all right? The symbols on the wall back there in Egypt, the white man broke that down, man. You know, guys like Dr. Ben Yayakim, which, by the way, that's Hebrew. Dr. Yosef Ben Yayakim, Yosef is Hebrew for Yahweh, he will add. Ben meaning son of, and Yayakim meaning Jonathan, which means the gift. It's all Hebrew. If this guy is such a scholar of Egyptology, such a great black African teacher, why in the hell did he have an African name, man? Huh? You got this other guy, Ivan Van Sertima from Guyana. Now, when he was born and coming up, Guyana was under the rule of England. Then there was a point where Guyana received their independence. But guess what? He still kept his London citizenship. So where's his Guyanan pride at, man? And when he went to study what he knows, what he teaches, the books that he wrote on, he went to London to the certain universities out there to learn that. Look him up. Go to Ivan Van Sertima, all right? So everything that you got from the white man. This guy, they're always talking about the Schomburg Library. And they say he ain't no Puerto Rican. His mother's Puerto Rican. His father's a so-called Jew. German Jew. Was his name Antonio Alfonso Schomburg. Father's a German Jew.
All right, so this is
this. Y'all call him a brother. Y'all call Schomburg, that's a brother. Hey, that's a white man. That's a devil.
All right, I just want to finish this real quick. This is the second definition for sophist. Sophist, any of a group of professional 5th century BC Greek philosophers and teachers who speculate on theology, metaphysics, and the sciences, and who were later characterized by Plato, which was a black man, as superficial manipulators of rhetoric and dialect, of rhetoric and dialect. So basically, they were superficial manipulators because they were able to speak well, so they were able to do like a smoke and mirrors with their words, so to speak.
Yeah, that's why when you come up against guys like us, we question all that shit. Anything you bring, we're going to question. We're going to get the dates. We're going to get the information. We're going to go back to the sources and see if you made that shit up and where you actually got it from. You got Polite. He tells you that he came up under Dr. York. You know how many names Dr. York had through the years? And how many different philosophies? And this guy used to teach Dr. York, and he's locked up now, supposedly. He taught, because he started losing members, man. And he taught, he advertised that on Wednesday nights, the Archangel Michael is coming down to teach. And don't tell me that's bullshit, because I was around that era when that happened. I ran into niggas that went to the class thinking that they were going to actually see Michael the Archangel. I'm going back around the late 80s, early 90s. This one nigga went and he said, "Where's Michael?" He said, "Well, Michael's running late." You niggas are stupid as hell. All you got to do is come up with some bullshit, and you niggas that do not study, that do not research, you get had by these clowns, man. Like when you argue about the first book that came out in the Epic of Gilgamesh, and then you go into that's an actual book, the Epic of Gilgamesh. When you go into carbon dating 14. Now we did some research on carbon dating or radio carbon dating 14, and people had tested it and said it's not accurate at all. If they can't get an accurate date, they'll make something up. That's what Esau is good at.
I got these three characters you mentioned. The first one is Ivan van Sertima. It says he was a Guyanese-born professor of Africana studies at Rutgers University in the United States.
Oh, by the way, Rutgers is over there on